Las Vegas for a while, you might remember the name Margaret Rudin, known as the Black Widow here in Las Vegas, accused, convicted, and sentenced in 2001 for the murder of her millionaire husband, Ron Rudin. It was a trial that got national attention and kept Las Vegas glued to its TV screens. And now Rudin is set to be released from prison, and the very thought of that terrifies some in our community.
13 investigative reporter Joe Bartels has part one in this week-long series, The Black Widow's Web of Deception.
The case had everything: mystery, deception, sex, even espionage. Margaret Rudin maintains her innocence even to this day. Now, 20 years later, she's been given parole and is set to be released next month. But like in any story, it's best to start at the beginning. Las Vegas in the mid-1990s. Sin City was especially sinful.
The landscape was evolving before your very eyes.
The days of the dunes are gone forever.
The mob's control looser than it had been in decades, and the city was transforming as it always has.
Back in that time, it was, we were just coming out of the decadent 80s and going into the 90s, and you know, Ron was a party guy. You know, he's what they would call today a player.
Away from the Strip, businessman Ron Rudin ran a real estate company and was married to his fifth wife, Margaret Rudin.
That woman's no good, she's dangerous.
Margaret was on her fifth husband, each one more wealthy than the last, but Ron was the richest by far, with an estimated empire worth $13 million.
Ron had confided in one of the trustees that he suspected Margaret of having the affair that she was having, that he felt that she was going to be responsible for his death if he was murdered.
Ron kept Margaret at arm's length, giving her an allowance, but never revealing just how much money he really had.
Margaret was even suspected of wiretapping Ron's phones at his office so that she could hear who he was speaking with, and ultimately she found out that he was having an affair with someone, and she heard it on the wiretap that she illegally created.
Ron was worth a lot of money, dead or alive, and so investigators say the Black Widow started meticulously planning his murder.
It was just so bizarre, man. I mean, we've made hundreds of death notifications, and without exception, except for Margaret, there's always some kind of reaction, some kind of emotional reaction.
Ron disappeared in 1994. His body discovered unexpectedly in a burned area 40 miles from Las Vegas near Lake Mead months later. All the evidence, investigators say, pointed to Margaret and her greed. But she earned the title, the Las Vegas Black Widow, and go on the run for nearly 3 years. A nationwide manhunt ended with Margaret in cuffs in a small town in Massachusetts that set up a trial with unforgettable characters like attorney Michael Amador,
statutory and common law privilege,
defense attorney Tom Pitaro,
And right now I'm going to shoot you.
Judge Joe Bonaventure.
Let's just try to finish it up.
And of course, Margaret Rudin at the center of a circus-like trial filled with theatrics.
Why would someone want to kill Ron?
I wish I could answer that. I wish I could.
We go back in the archives, retrace the steps.
On one hand, I can see it.
Show you things that haven't been seen or touched in 2 decades.
So this is beyond a doubt the gun that killed Ron Rudin.
100% certain.
Join us all this week at 6 a.m. and 11 p.m. for this exclusive event, The Black Widow's Web of Deception. Joe Bartels, 13 Investigates.